Hello everybody and welcome back to Tlatoani, where last episode, right at the tail end of the episode, I don't think I even mentioned it, but I did notice right at the tail end of the episode, we hit our cultural goal. So all we need now is prosperity. So you know what that means. We need to upgrade these common homes. Now I'm looking through here and it looks like that's a lot of maize. Pottery up over here, that makes some sense. We do have some pottery being accepted here, and that is going to be made where? Right, these kilns up over here. So at this point, what we really need is we need to get those kilns built, and we need to get these farms producing more thoroughly. So that's all looking fine. We are net positive on our maize. We just need to give it some time for this maize to spread throughout all of our storage locations, right? So that's absolutely fine. Oh, we don't have any food that we're getting up over here. This needs to be set to getting for all of these and have it at 200, 200, 200. This is all getting here. That looks good. Do we have any other granaries that are misconfigured? I don't think so at this time. Cool. So that seems relatively good for now. And we'll just continue to work through all of these chinampas out over here. That's going to be a fairly large project, but for the time being, it seems fine. We do need to run some road up through here, like so, now that those chinampas are cleared. But other than that, this is looking good. So these kilns are coming online out over here. They're currently lacking timber, and they should get timber from, I believe, this porter yard? Actually, no, but they would receive, some of them would receive timber from this porter yard. Let's go ahead and set this to getting timber so that that can deliver timber out over here. So that looks good at this point. An obsidian mine has caught fire. Okay, it's this one up over here. It's not a big deal. A blade napper has caught fire. There's a lot of fires going on. No doubt about it. Good thing we've got lots of well dippers around. The fire's spreading a little bit, but we got it under control. So that looks good. Our prosperity is still chilling at 9 out of 40. Now, down over here, we need access to more religion, and this is not terribly surprising. I'm going to think about putting in... This was intended to be a shrine right here that served up over this direction. I think this was intended to be Tlaloc. So we'll put that there, and then we can put in another shrine to Tlaloc up over this direction. But, of course, as I accidentally tab out of the game, hopefully OBS doesn't crash. Okay, we're good. So that looks fine. We need to run roading this direction, wherever possible. So we need to get that done. And then this shrine to Tlaloc, I'm going to put in right here. This is strong symmetry, and this will get a number of these farms. So that'll be good there. So that'll get us some, but I also want the god of craftsmen. Who was that? Artisans, Quetzalcoatl. Yeah. I want a good shrine down over here. So this is good symmetry. What do we got up over here? Average, average, weak. Good symmetry here. I think we're going to go for right here. That will reach almost all of these houses. So that looks good for the moment. We'll get some religion coming in down over here. I'm guessing we're probably, well, we probably are going to have a good amount of food in here. If we look at this, we do see we have maize in stock on this market. So that looks fine for now. I'd like to get more of this production underway. We're currently running, or we were running a small deficit, but as we get this cranking up on our exports, I think we'll be okay on that front. I don't know what happened with this person. Maybe they starved. They're currently dead. -4 out of 21. We know that we have issues with maize getting up over here, right? So that's very likely the problem at this point, is we need maize up over this way. But with our maize being significantly net positive, we should see our storage of maize get saturated fairly quickly. Yeah, we're starting to see maize coming into some of these granaries out over this direction. Some of them. But we clearly need more production. These farms are not fully online yet. So I'm not going to just rush out and build more maize production for right now. I think for the moment, this is likely sufficient maize production, but we'll see. So far so good on all of that. We are going to need to make sure that these roads are actually connected up over here and the Chinampas aren't finished entirely, right? So I do want to make sure that we have some road connections out this direction, but we're going to have to check in on that a few times because of the Chinampas. So that's absolutely understood. So we'll continue to let that go. It's absolutely fine for the moment, but it will take some time to get that fully complete. Some of our education venues are overcrowded, and poor nutrition is a bit of a problem. Yeah. I'm not surprised about that because we're still a little short on getting our maize distributed. We've got a good amount of maize in stock, but it's not really getting as distributed as we'd like to see yet, but that takes time. So that seems okay. Down over here, we need pottery to develop, and this is getting pottery, so we should be getting, I think, sufficient pottery from up here. We might put in some additional pottery development up over this way, but for now, having 5 kilns is likely sufficient. Hang on, we're missing a road here. 2 sections of road. There we go. So that looks good. And then down over this direction, these Chinampas are continuing. We're up to 15 prosperity, so we've raised our prosperity significantly. Keep in mind, we started at, I think, 10. So we've raised it by 60%. This home has everything it needs for the moment. It is lacking in clean water, and we may have to start importing fresh water. But I don't think that's necessary with our target prosperity being 40. So I think we're very close at this point to being able to get this city online. And that would be absolutely fantastic. So these farms are coming online down over here. I see that this one still has some fields that need to be dug. The fertility isn't, you know, amazing over here, but it's fine. We've got lots and lots of room. So that looks good. We're currently net negative on our maize. That's interesting. And somewhat unexpected. Now, we're still working on building up these farms out over here. But being net negative on the maize is definitely unexpected at this moment. I don't think we had significant city growth. So that's definitely something to think about. So I want to check in on our tax situation and our wage situation. I think that's fine for now. I'm going to leave that where it's at. And then down over here, yeah, most of these are needing pottery to develop, and the markets are here and here. Both of these markets are reached by this porter yard, so once we get pottery in stock here, that should be good. In theory. Checking in on these kilns, we appear to definitely be making production, so that looks good. And we're accepting pottery here, but the pottery is going away very, very quickly, and I'm not shocked about that. Not shocked at all. Some of our education venues are overcrowded. Yeah, that's also not in the category of shocking. I think another education venue, perhaps about here or maybe about here, makes sense. Either of those would be fine. I'll put one here right now. This one is intensive service use as well. We could think about an additional one up over here, and that will actually help reach a lot of these farmhouses, so we'll do that as well. This guy up over here is, I think, the one that's really, really struggling, though. And there's not too much that we can do about it. We could put one in up here to try to take a little bit of the strain here off of it and here. And I think that's reasonable. But it is going to be a little spicy. So we'll get going on that for now. And we're seeing some of these homes beginning to upgrade. So that's good. Checking in on this, we are, for this year, net positive on our maize. That's interesting. We were net negative last year, so we'll keep an eye on that. I do want to make sure that this road is built all the way through now that those chinampas are cleared out. Some chinampas are cleared out here, but not all of them, so we'll just make sure that that goes through for the moment. And yeah, the chinampaing is definitely working out over this way, so that's looking fine. And then there's this awkwardness over here where this is no longer going to be, you know, actually walled off. To the point where some of this is actually incurring on our farmland. We're going to remove, hi pause menu, we're going to remove some of this. And I'm not too concerned about rebuilding this, to be honest. It's fine. We don't need additional protection. So we'll just leave this be for the time being, and that seems okay. Some of our workshops lack salt, I saw, and I think I saw stone there, but we've got 600 stone in stock. I'm not too concerned about it. Yeah, some of our masons are lacking stone. This probably just means we need to distribute stone around. I don't necessarily think that we have, we don't have a deficit of stone. It's okay. We're going to be building, like, out over here, I guess, but sure. Whatever. I'm really, really not too concerned about it. So as far as this goes, I want to run this road out to here. And that, of course, means that this stone canal here can get extended. It's a little awkward that this is a stone canal and these are regular canals. We may upgrade them later, but for now, this is okay. So, checking it up over here, these homes have everything they need for the moment. Maze and ambience out over here. So there's definitely a good argument to be made that we can put in stone roads, and I'm going to start upgrading some of these areas to stone roads. We're not going to go whole hog and get the entire city done in stone roads, but we'll get some of it done here and there. So something like that for now, and then we can build this up over to here. Basically, areas that are residential in nature are what I want to make be stone roads. Does that include farmers' huts? Probably not. So we can have this road come down over this way. Definitely a little bit of awkwardness on this road, but there we go. There's a fire in the city. Okay, sure. But we can make all of this be stone road up over here for now. Keep in mind, we have a very solid source of stone, so I'm not very concerned about that. And then down over here, honestly, I'll just extend this down. And we can do stone roads in these housing areas as well. So something along the lines of this. Then we can run this down to, I don't know, about here. And then just make this area be stone roads. That'll boost our ambience somewhat. It may not boost it enough everywhere, but that'll definitely make things a little bit better on the prosperity. We've more than doubled our prosperity so far this episode. Apparently we beat some bandits. Sure. Sounds good. Yeah, a blade and apricot fire. There's lots and lots of fires. So we're quite positive on our maze now. I think we have full production in swing down on these farms now. So that's almost certainly what we've got going on there. So for the moment, I'm not terribly concerned about that. This shrine to Tlaloc still needs some artwork, and that's certainly noted. I do want to get some roads put in like so. Awkward Chinampa there is awkward. But otherwise, that looks good on the roading. This is literally the only spot we need a road for this entire row here. And then we need to decide what we're going to do with this monstrosity up here. I don't know yet. Maybe we just won't deal with it. Maybe we'll get the prosperity that we need before then, and we'll just ignore it and pretend it didn't happen. That would be nice. So I wouldn't mind upgrading this up here to stone roads, I think, and then getting this area done, because basically the rest of this region is all in stone road. So let's just get that completed. And then there is some housing out over this way. So I'm just going to make this little segment be stone road. Like that. And then there's some housing out over this way. So we're just trying to improve the ambience of these housing areas, right? And currently, this is very awkward. Let's just do something kind of like that. Okay. There we go. So we've got those stone roads there. We've definitely leveled up our housing in here somewhat. So that's looking good. We still have some ambience issues. So we might want to start putting in a gardener somewhere. So that would be somewhere like, I'm thinking about here. And then we can start putting in gardens in some of these open slots here. So this will be 8, this will be 11. Some of this is getting out of range up over here, so that's fine. Down this direction, this would bring us up to 14. And then, do we have any spots down here? This is out of range, but we can put it in there. So that puts us at 16 out of 30. Okay. We can do a couple here. We can do a couple here. We can back those gardens off if we need to. So that gardener is not maxed out. That's understood. I want to put in another gardener up over here. And we're just going to start growing some gardens out over this direction. I'm not sure if this is reachable. Actually, it is. And this should be Stone Road here then. Okay, so something about like that. And then we'll continue to boost up our ambience in these regions. So something like that. We can reach out to here. A couple of gardens there. And then this is at 25 at this moment. So that's understood. And then down this direction, that puts us at 30. That's out of range, I think. No, we just don't have any free space. Okay. So we'll get going on that. That'll boost our ambience in these regions, at least somewhat. There's also this section of road here that can be made into stone road, and I'd like to do so. So we'll get all of that going. Our prosperity just jumped to 37. Wow. I think we might actually end the city this episode. Insane. That is actually bonkers. We need cloth down over here, so we can definitely be not at this border yard, but at this border yard, we can be getting cloth. No, we can't. So both of these border yards are full. Understood. Do we even need cloth down here, though? I'm not 100% sure that we do. We're 37 prosperity right now, and we just got a bunch of additional ambience up over here. Improvements are under construction in this house. More civil service. Okay. So we're 38 prosperity now. But we could certainly consider putting a porter stop right here, and this is just getting cloth. I don't know how much spare cloth we have. We can look at our cloth weavers up over here. Where are they delivering to? They're delivering to a porter yard, but it's not this one. This one? Yeah, that's actually maxed, so that seems okay. So we'll get some cloth delivered down here to these markets. And more nutrition out over here. That's interesting. We've definitely got nutrition here. They just need to go buy it. So, sure. More civil service. That actually makes a lot of sense. So, I would not mind putting in a tax collector somewhere around here. It requires a scenic neighborhood. Here works. We have one here. And that's providing adequate usage, but it doesn't reach this house. So, maybe we should put it here. We're at 39 out of 40. We're about to finish this. Beautiful. Back down to 38, but we'll get there soon enough. That's because our axe monies went negative, actually. Once we... Okay, there we go. That's it. Right there. So that's the end of this particular city. We're just not going to deal with this problem. We're going to pretend it never existed. I don't know what you're talking about. This never happened. Let's get out of here. So the next scenario is what? We just did this one. So the next scenario would be a moderate difficulty. Why is this hard difficulty? Oh, these are not really sorted in any particular order. Okay. Well, this is going to be a moderate difficulty. This is a coastal lagoon offering a lucrative trade in salt and tropical woods. And this one has no risk of invasion. Okay. Interesting. Well, we're just going down the list here. We're almost done. So. Well, now. This is interesting. The first thing I want to look for is fresh water. Do we have a source of fresh water? There's a lot of ocean down over here. These are brine pools. Okay, that's noted. We have not done our own salt harvesting yet. So these brine pools are how we do that. I'm not noticing any freshwater springs. Can we make our own stone? We can make our own clay. We cannot make our own stone. Okay, so we're going to have to trade for stone, and we're currently importing this not from the capital. That's interesting. I mean, that's very good. So we start with a fortress, and we start with a trading post. Okay. Well, these are regular forests. I'm not noticing any ficus trees out over this way. We don't have any amate makers available here either. So there's a lot of forest up over here, up on top of the cliff, and down over here too. This is a decent starting forest out over here, but we're probably going to end up clearing a lot of this out. So I think that we should take a road down like this and then put in some sawyers here. So I'm going to do 2 sawyers right now, and they're going to access these trees. And then I'm going to put in some clay pits out over here like this, and they're going to come in. I kind of strongly dislike how this is coming in. Okay, instead we're going to bring this up, and we're going to bring this like that. Yeah, something along the lines of that one. And then we can put in, and then there's a salt panner here, right. Okay, so that's good to know. So the salt, the only thing we found that we need salt for, other than just flat exporting it, is armor. So that's definitely something to note. But for now, I think that what we need to do is we need to put a porter yard in right about here. And this porter yard is going to be getting stone, and then we're going to be accepting clay and timber, like that. So mission number 1 is get clay and timber imports online. Or not even imports, but clay and timber online. Mission number 2, we're going to need to find somewhere to farm. And I think around this lake is a good place to do that. Down over here, of course, in the ocean, it's not about irrigation. But this lake, this does allow irrigation. It also allows fishing. So we could use fish as a backup for our food. But I want to grow some food as well. Can we grow cotton here? Yes, we can grow cotton. So that looks good. So this is a fishing wharf here, and we would want to place a number of these. I'm thinking about putting them down here. So this would be like 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Okay, this needs to be adjacent to land. So for now, let's just take these out, and we can chinampa all of this right down through here. At least a good chunk of it. So this is going to be fishing wharves down here, and then we'll have a road that goes up like this. But for now, I'm going to take this road up through here. I don't want to have it be like that long term. Oh, that lines up very nicely, actually. Maybe that is a long-term road. Maybe that is intriguing. Okay, so something like that, and we're going to put in a granary down over this way. So I want the granary to be maybe like right here, but really probably more like here. And then this is going to be accepting fish. So that's going to take a little bit of time to get all of that online. That'll get us a little bit of food production. Although not maize, but it'll get us a little bit of food production. It'll get us our wood and our clay production started. We're almost certainly going to need to change some of this around, and we are 1000% going to need to start getting some farms going. But for now, this'll do. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Ethan Feldman, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, Rornaz, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.